Welcome. I am Crime Queen, and if you're joining us, let there be light, and there was light, of course. Yes, I am Crime Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. I love numerology. Of course, this is what have got us onto publishing to over 600 videos right now. We have just been on YouTube. It's just really amazing journey. We have been having so much fun. Of course, now we are looking at Let There Be Light. We are looking at this wonderful affirmation that we have embarked on. And I know that there are times that, we do this as though we were doing a play or a stage or something, and we say, let there be light, and there was light. And the times I have done this in a fun way, or whether it was a problem, I can recall whether it was an issue and we just say, oh well, let there be light, and there was light. And of course, the mindset, we do something with the free-spirited attribution that it entails, have a lot to do with it as well, because we are not doing it in reservation. We are just doing it so freely with the assertion that, it's ease. It just is, meaning it goes back and it's going to come back resolved. Oftentimes, of course. In fact, I can think of one time when I have uttered this, and to say, oh well, let there be light, it kind of just puts a smile on your face. And it's an affirmation. Now I want to say it's important to smile after we have uttered this affirmation. So I have done a 4-part so far, 4-part series of this affirmation, as I have given clear instructions of how to apply the affirmation. But the reason why I am doing the series of presentations on it is to give the insight of the construct of the affirmation. Why? What makes it so powerful? When we have a clearer understanding of something, it gives us more meaning. It gives us more sense of its application. We can identify with it a bit more. It's like knowing someone, and when you know their names or you know more about them, it builds a stronger relationship or bond with that person. So that's what we are doing with this wonderful affirmation. Now we know it is the first words of the first recorded words we have of the said God. This is the first recorded words we have of the said God. I am now feeling very excited. Wouldn't it be nice to know what the first words of the Creator, or wouldn't it be nice to know the first words of the made God, the God who made, or the God who formed? Did he speak, or did he just form? That's the beautiful thing that I am really wanting to delve. It looks like all the speech that was really done, or most of it, in Genesis of chapter 1 was Mother Eve. Of course, when she said, let there be light, and there was light. Let the firmament, let there be a firmament above the waters. There was. And let the waters divide the waters from the firmament above. And of course, that particular text sounded a little bit complicated, I must say. But she was really doing snake thing there. That's the serpent. That's the serpent doing her in and out, getting us to do the maths. And this is one text that really got me thinking, I really need to draft this out. See where the firmament is on that text, where the division was, because this is where she says, let there be a firmament to divide the waters that was above the waters, below the waters. I think so far it has given me an image of there are cycles. It's like the globe and there's water around, and oh well, but I think we could say that's where the division or clarity of the oceans of the seven seas came into being, or five oceans came into being. Five oceans, seven seas. I have lots of things to learn. It's taking me back to school. Okay, but I'm enjoying the process, and that's key. That's key. Key is Mother Eve. So we have been looking at let there be. We have concluded that this this flower hair is in direct correlation with the word. Yes, it is with the E. E is really E. The formation of E is really like the M, the E, and W, and so on, and 3. So that we see here, we see that L has a numerical value of 3, and of course it has 3 points. Now there's something I've just noticed as well. That's interesting. I was going to say, I have said this before, that the L has 3 points and it has a numerical value of 3. So it was just really getting an idea of maybe how they have constructed that. But we know when we look at the the template, it has a numerical value of 3. It comes under the luck. This is where the luck, we say the luck, under the sacrifice template. Now, in case you are new to this channel, we have got a series of presentations on template to numerology, or it may be templates to actualizing self-full love. It may be something to that effect. So here we have, this is Mother Eve, and this is the template which we work from. Of course, every letter has its numerical value. So this is what I mean about the L, right here, the luck. And of course, Revelation is revealing to us that there's a victory there. It's like saying it gives you an opportunity to be victorious, to go into the developmental stage, which is the 4th stage, and then into the 5th, which is the new stage. Then from the new stage, of course, is where you have the opportunity to open your 3rd eye, which is what Mother Eve teaches us here. You need to be a fox then, because there you realize, this is where you recognize and you have your certificate as the number of man, so to speak, 6 as the number of man. You realize you come from the men, M-E-N, men species. You really acknowledge that, because having your 3rd eye is that you go up to your 6 senses. Your 6 senses, that relationship you have with your 6th sense is another confirmation right there as well. Okay, then of course, from that dimension, you have the 3 sixes. It's as if that has also given you the premise, or given you the template to acquire your 666, which is what a lot of people tell you that you should be afraid of. But the 666, according to this sacrifice template, is your ability to overcome those 3 stages of life right here, as it were in the sacrifice, the dying of flesh, the dying of self, dying of addictions, etc., and so on. So this is where we need to be mindful of whatever it is we encounter, how we learn what we learn. And this is why Mother Eve is telling us to look back. Well, go back, she says. Go back, meaning go back to the drawing board. Go back to the drafts board. Go back to your kindergarten stage. Go back to your ABC. Look at the letters carefully. Look at the sounds when you were told, no, pronounce it this way. Listen. She keeps saying, listen. That's her favorite word now. You could imagine the serpent going, listen, listen. That's why it's always, the tongue is going like this. Listen, listen. That's Mother Eve talking very quietly. Be not listening. Listen, listen. That's her right there. So we have seen how, of course, the L is that it shows us two directions, like, of course, up and forward, which is where we have been taught to really go this way. Though now Mother Eve is telling us to go back, count back, she says. But of course, the L, it's as if it's the lever. The lever, because she's the spokesperson and she has been talking about words. Perhaps the L right there is that which we should say or conclude is the lever. Where the mouth is, it has two directions and 3 points. So it's the upper mouth, the lower mouth, and there's a point where the tongue is. The words are invisible here in the tongue, and there is the lever, up and down, of course. Now, that's one way of describing the L. The other way of describing the L is like it's a foot taking you forward, taking you into a direction. It's the L. It also, we have seen, has the numerical value of 3, and in its makeup, when we add 3 plus 6 of the points that it is, which we have done, it has 1 motion, 2 directions, and 3 points. So it's 1, 2, 3. When we add these together, like on the template, so basically, like on the sacrifice template, the L here, it's like saying to us, it has the 3, but it also has 1, 2, 3. So it's like 3 right here is reminding us that it has everything that is birthed in this sack. Everything is birthed in the sack right there. And the L carries that, which is, of course, comes to 9. Oh, now I see from what we have done a construct finding out that it also comes to 9, and there is the 9 right here underneath it. So that tells us the common value of the L right here. Right here or right there, it's the same thing. We also see about 5, or the E, we have spoken about that. And the T has a value of 2. But 2 on the sacrifice template, we see how 2 is not only just 2, but it's also 11. Now, we also have done 11. When we do the numerical value for 11, it equals 9. And when we do the numerical value for the word 9, it equals 6. Of course, we do the numerical value for the word 6, it becomes 7, which is the serpent. Of course, if we do the numerical value for the word 7, it becomes 2. And 2, that means the power of 2 is that it has all that vibration to take us to that 9/11 or the 8 or the 6 or the 2 and all of those things, which has 4 as well. So when we do the numerical value for the word 2, it actually equals 13. So let's look at 2 here. Let's just look at that. It's just to get the flavor, the full flavor of what it means when we use those words right here, those letters. And in this, I'm just going to do this now. It comes to mind. 1, 2, it's the number of T's in here. 1, 2, 3. So in each stance of the let there be light, there are 3 2's right there. So 3 2's are 6. That is in itself is telling us the power. It's like and it encapsulates the number of man right there. So there are 3 2's are 6 that we are talking here. Let, in the word let. So in that T right there, Mother Eve is making man very present right there. Present. So we say it's 6. When we do the numerical value for 6, it's 7. There's the serpent right there because the serpent equals 7. So let's just work on this here. I'm trying to find a board that where I don't have to erase much. Okay. Father Adam won't be disappointed at all that we are faced with him here. But that is where we are told you are dots, which also coincides with the number 2, because dots is 13. Let's just check the time. Okay, so dots, DOTS, is 4, 6, 2, 1. When we add this together, we see we have 13. Okay. So there we are with we have 3. Let's just do the T. So T equals 2. T equals 2. So if we do the numerical value for the word 2, it is 2, 5, 6. So that's 11, 12, 13. 1 plus 3 equals 4. Of course, if we do the numerical value for 4, it's 6. I'm not going to go over this right now. It is 6. But when we do the numerical value for the word 6, here, this is 1. This is 1. In fact, let's just take our time and let you see the whole thing. So it's 13. 13 equals 4. F-O-U-R. So there we are. This is 6, 6, 3, 9. So 9 and 6 is 15, and 6 would be 20. 9 plus 9, sorry, is 18, 19, 24. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay. So this is how 4 is 6. Okay. When we do the numerical value for 6, here, 6 is 1, 9, 6. Add this together is 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. We add these. So we do the numerical value for 7. Just showing you, this is Eve in the middle here. In the middle here. So 5, 4, 5, 5. 3 5s 15, of course, and 4 is 19 plus 1 is 20. So there we see 20 is 2, meaning 2 has, when we do 2 and we work with 2 or we energize 2, it has the power to go through the yeast. It forms the yeast and it comes back to us in 2, meaning that 2 as well could be 2 of whatever it is that you have sown in that way. So basically, this is why they say everything comes back onto itself, but is in the formation of that which we are wanting. We want to see the manifestation of something, the material form of it. And that's where we, in number 2, where it comes as the template of 13, that is the place where we are sowing, or sowing seeds, so to speak. And we can see how the number 13 is very powerful there, or the number 2. We see number 4. And that's why when we take into consideration the story of Christ and the sacrifice, for instance, or no, the Last Supper, there were 13 at the table. First of all, we need to remember Christ recruited, I think, all, if not most, is all, or all his disciples in 2s. We hear it's 2s. The 2 will always give in an indication of 2 coming together to meet with that 3. He was, of course, 1, or saying the serpent in this case. So we see that 3. So 1, it would be 1. The first set of the disciples were 2. So we see 1 and 2 came to 3. All right. So at this, back to the table, there were 13 people at the table. We see this picture nearly everywhere, the picture of Christ and the disciples. Okay. And the power of 2 was at that, in that scenario, there would be 2, we could say that that would have betrayed him as well. So there's another 2 when something is happening, because Christ said, oh, before the cock crows 3 times, you, Peter, will deny me. And of course there was Judas, the one who kisses him. And of course we hear about 30 pieces of silver. There's the symbol or significance of 3 as well. Now 3, when we do the numerical value for 3, I believe it's also 11. Oh, I left my pen to dry. Okay. So 3, just do this. So this is 2, 8, 5, 5. So 10, 20. So we see that 3 is also 2 right there. And that is really telling us the power of 2. It's as if the sacrifice would not have happened if there weren't 2 in that sense of the sense of how they participated in that scenario, we could say. Bear in mind that I am really believing that story to be a fictional story, but it is perhaps the best story we could ever have for mankind when we understand the morals of the story, when we understand the gems that it offers. So there we see that there have been great minds in the Bible that have put the mathematical construct together, basing on a mathematical world that we are existing in, that have put these gems there for us to decode as much as possible. And so back to the number 13, we see that 1 plus 3, this is where I say I need to really say that when Christ gave of the bread or broke of the bread and they were at the table, and he says, as long as you have this, have it in remembrance of me. So there was an agreement. There was agreement. Wherever there is agreement, there is bonding. They met on this equal par. But Christ knew from the ritual of breaking of the bread, when you hear it is broken, that it is something that is expected to be applied time and time again. Hence the power of affirmation. And affirmation is not going to just work for you one time, or it may do, but it becomes like every breath is a cycle. Hence every affirmation, something happens once, we need to keep applying it again because it's forming another cycle. So I'm hoping that you have got this, and there is so much more on the word there. So we have really deconstruct the word let right there. Right there. I like to say right there because when I say right there, I'm remembering it's coming from in here, because there has in here. And so there is that link. There is the link. Okay. It's really a beautiful discovery for me. It's like when you could think of something being miles and miles away, it reminds us that your ability to think about it miles and miles away is because it is also here. I leave you with this. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun or insightful. Please leave your likes, comments, and subscribe, and your thumbs up, which is the likes, of course. And of course, as I say, and I'm using this as we are being transparent here, let there be light, and there was light. To you.